In the vast Egyptian desert, under a relentless sun, stands a structure that defies both time and logic. The Great Pyramid of Giza. For over 4,500 years, it has stood as a silent witness to the rise and fall of empires, the inspiration for countless legends, and the ultimate symbol of human ingenuity. Millions have gazed upon it, and millions have asked the question, what is it, really? The official answer, etched into textbooks and museum placards, is clear. It is a tomb, a monumental tomb built for the Pharaoh Khufu, a god king, to guide his soul into the afterlife. But what if that simple answer masks a more extraordinary truth? What if the Great Pyramid was not a resting place for a dead king, but a functioning machine, an ancient power plant created by a civilization with knowledge we have since lost? Knowledge perhaps not of this world. This question is not just idle fantasy. It is the gateway to one of history's most compelling and controversial theories. To understand the allure of this theory, we must first acknowledge the accepted view. Egyptologists have dedicated their lives to deciphering the secrets of the pharaohs. To them, the Great Pyramid is the culmination of a long tradition of tomb building. It was designed as a symbolic resurrection machine, a gateway to the stars. Its location, orientation, and internal shafts are believed to correspond to the complex religious beliefs of the Egyptians about death and rebirth. Each block is a testament to the pharaoh's power, his ability to command and organize a massive workforce. From this perspective, the pyramid is a profound human achievement built with human hands, human ingenuity, and an unshakable faith. But for some, this explanation, as logical as it is, seems insufficient. They point to the anomalies, the details that seem to defy the simple explanation of a tomb. The first is its incredible precision. The Great Pyramid is aligned to the four cardinal directions almost perfectly, off by a mere fraction of a degree from true north, an accuracy that is difficult to achieve even with modern technology. Its faces are nearly perfect equilateral triangles, and its base is astonishingly level. Furthermore, mathematicians have pointed out that its dimensions seem to incorporate complex mathematical constants like pi and the golden ratio, phi. How could a Bronze Age civilization achieve such mathematical and engineering sophistication with rudimentary tools? Then there is the internal structure. Unlike other pharaonic tombs, which typically feature walls lavishly decorated with hieroglyphs depicting the deceased's journey, the inner chambers of the Great Pyramid are bizarrely bare. The King's Chamber, a masterpiece of red granite construction, is built with such precise joints that you cannot fit a razor blade between the blocks. Inside it sits a simple granite coffer, lidless and without any indication it ever held a mummy. Above the King's Chamber are 5 mysterious stress-relieving chambers, built with seemingly no other purpose than structural integrity. An incredible feat of engineering complexity. And then there are the mysterious shafts angling upwards from the King's and Queen's chambers, leading not to the outside but stopping at stone doors. Egyptologists call them ventilation shafts or symbolic pathways for the soul, but proponents of the power plant theory see another purpose. They were waveguides, channels for energy. The materials used are also a key point. While the core of the pyramid is made of limestone, the crucial inner chambers, especially the King's Chamber, are constructed entirely of granite. Granite is not only incredibly hard and difficult to work with, it also has an interesting property. It's rich in quartz crystals. Quartz is piezoelectric, which means that when it's subjected to mechanical pressure, it generates an electric current. The walls of the inner chambers have also been suggested to contain dolomite, a material which can increase electrical conductivity. Furthermore, the entire pyramid was once cased in highly polished, white Tur limestone, causing it to reflect the sun's light like a brilliant beacon. These were not, the skeptics argue, random aesthetic or structural choices, but deliberate engineering decisions. From these observations, a bold alternative theory is born. This theory proposes that the Great Pyramid was a massive machine of some kind, designed to harness the energies of the Earth and the cosmos. But how would it work? There are a few proposed mechanisms. One popular idea suggests the pyramid was a giant acoustic amplifier. The Earth constantly vibrates at a very low frequency, known as the Schumann resonance. The pyramid, according to this theory, was perfectly tuned to resonate with this frequency. The king's chamber, with its precise dimensions and granite construction, acted as a resonant cavity, capturing and amplifying these vibrations. The grand gallery leading to it, with its unique slots and step structure, may have held a series of Helmholtz resonators, tuning and intensifying the acoustic energy as it moved upwards. Another, more complex theory involves water. The hydraulic ram pump hypothesis suggests the pyramid utilized an underground water source, perhaps fed by the Nile's annual floods, to generate power. Water was supposedly channeled into subterranean chambers, where a series of water hammer-like effects created powerful pressure pulses and vibrations. These mechanical vibrations would then travel up through the structure of the pyramid, putting pressure on the piezoelectric granite blocks in the king's chamber and generating electricity. This energy could then have been converted to microwaves and transmitted wirelessly from the pyramid's peak, which was once capped with a pyramidion of gold or electrum, acting as an efficient broadcast antenna. A third, more speculative version proposes the pyramid was a cosmic energy collector. Its very shape, a pyramid, is said to have the natural ability to capture and focus energy fields from the atmosphere and from space. In this view, it didn't generate power so much as it gathered and transformed it, acting like a giant lens for energies that modern science may not yet fully understand. The shafts in the scenario were not waveguides but directional channels for focusing this energy to a central point. It is a captivating story, a story of lost technology, ancient wisdom, and secrets buried beneath the sands of time. But is there any proof? This is where the romantic veil is lifted and the cold, hard reality of the scientific method comes in. Archaeologists and engineers point to a fatal flaw in every version of the power plant theory: a complete and total lack of physical evidence. Not a single wire has ever been found. No light bulbs, no electrical devices, no scorch marks from electrical arcing or the high heat associated with power transmission. More importantly, there are no Egyptian records whatsoever, not a single hieroglyph. Not one papyrus scroll that speaks of the pyramid as a power source or describes how to use it. A civilization capable of building such a machine would surely be capable of recording its existence and purpose. Furthermore, modern science can offer plausible explanations for many of the pyramid's supposed mysteries. Its constructional precision, while astounding, is not impossible. The Egyptians were master astronomers and mathematicians. They used simple but effective tools like plumb bobs, sighting rods, and water-filled trenches to achieve incredibly level surfaces and precise angles. The alignment to true north could have been achieved by tracking the movement of stars. The mathematical constants like pi and phi could simply be coincidences, a natural outcome of construction methods that use simple angles and ratios. The bareness of the inner chambers can be explained by ancient tomb robbing, a common problem throughout Egyptian history. The choice of granite for the king's chamber was likely for its durability, and its symbolic meaning as an eternal stone, not for its piezoelectric properties. Even if the granite did generate a tiny current under pressure, harnessing it would require a sophisticated technology of conversion and storage for which there is zero evidence. Imagine this: you are an archaeologist from the distant future, exploring the ruins of the 21st century. You stumble upon a perfectly preserved vintage radio in a crumbling building. You have no concept of radio waves or electronics. To you, it might appear to be a mystical box, a religious icon designed to commune with the gods, with its complex knobs and strange internal components serving some ritualistic purpose. You could build an entire mythology around it, but the truth is far simpler. It was just a tool, created by a technology familiar to its makers. Perhaps we are doing the same thing with the Great Pyramid. We're looking at a structure built for a purpose we can barely comprehend a purpose. Deeply rooted in their religion and worldview on, we are projecting our own obsession with technology and power onto it. So, was the Great Pyramid of Giza an alien power plant? Almost certainly not. The evidence simply isn't there. But that does not diminish its greatness. On the contrary, it enhances the wonder. The truth is perhaps more astonishing than the myth that human beings, with their hands, their minds, and their unwavering will, were able to move millions of stone blocks and construct a monument of such precision to honor their king and their belief in eternal life. The debate between tomb and power plant highlights a fundamental tension in the human experience, the struggle between what we can prove and what we want to believe. It reminds us of the importance of critical thinking and the need to base our conclusions on evidence, but it also celebrates the power of imagination, the ability to look at something ancient and dream of infinite possibilities. The Great Pyramid remains not as a machine, but as a mirror reflecting our self-or questions, our awe, and our unending search for the truth. And that, perhaps, is the greatest mystery of all.